Kindly sit down. Thank you for your. Uh, Allow me to say my apologies. I was ready to be here on time, but some intervening events in progress in the country, problems actually. I had to talk to many people, and I was calling everybody to fly in, and I waited for them so I could give the proper instructions. Let me state my case with a predicate. Predicate is, I mean no offense. There is no ill will in me. But as a worker of government tasked to look after the welfare of my people, I have to say things here which might offend your sensibilities. The only maybe redeeming factor after this speech is that it was all done in good faith, and the truth must always be known to everybody. For it is not even a question of race or creed or tribe or family. It's a question of humanity. So I will just dispense with this. Let me just say my acknowledgements. Mr. Dante Ang, Chairman Emeritus, Manila Times. Thank you, sir, for inviting me. Our Man of the Year, he heads the organization. I had no doubt in my mind that we will prevail. About the only reason why it took us so long is my orders were, one, so many hostages were taken that we do everything, all that is possibly, humanly possible, to avoid deaths of the hostages. Second is said, do not destroy the shrine and holy places of the Muslims in Marawi, because it would not be good for us, and it will only arouse the anger of the Muslim world. And I told the military in a command conference, together with General Guerrero, remember, it is to our national interest that we face this problem with sanity and not anger. Of course, we have our different individual sentiments of really what's happening, but the larger interest, the bigger view is that, remember, we have 2 million plus Filipinos working in the Middle East. They must know that we respect their religion. Islam will be adopted by all. And so, mind you, I said, my mother is a Muslim Maranao, because their mother is a Maranao. My grandfather was Chinese, and his name was Lam. So, yung kayong mga, although yung Muslims, do not be offended, or from Marawi. But that was really what worried me. And the third was, we were fighting a new kind of war, a new environment. Because aside from the hostages with them inside the buildings, they were able to capture so many buildings in the downtown area, and were really also able to pre-position themselves in critical points of the city. And so it was not fighting in open space. Our soldiers are fundamentally trained, or at least the most basic is really in a free range, in the mountains where the NPAs are, or even in urban areas, but not so many buildings and houses, not so many civilians to worry. Now, they were able to position themselves, and they have perfected a new art now, and it's being used by the communists. There is almost no confrontation now, and that they would only just shoot from a distance. Sniping or sniper fire is the new war. And I told the policemen, called them, because, and the soldiers, that one was killed yesterday, surprisingly just standing in detachment. Detachment is where there may be checkpoints along the highways. And I said, if that incident is true, then you have to learn again a new environment. You have to reconfigure and you have to reinvent your military doctrines. Because in Marawi, we were facing a cover of the enemies, cement, pati bakal, the buildings, and they kept on sniping us as we were. And so I lost 167 soldiers and policemen. Now this comes this human rights idiotic thing. You know, it started with the service of a warrant of arrest for a guy there was issued a warrant by the court for arrest. And the crime was cooking shabu. So when the policemen went there to arrest them, they were met with heavy gunfire. And the police is no match for any high-powered interdiction. So we had to call on the Marines. And the Marines are battle-weary, maybe, but they are always ready and hardened soldiers, adept and ready to die. And indeed, they died. Because as they proceeded on that Papandi Bridge, they were met with sniper fires. So they were in the bridge, no cover. So 9 Marines died the following day. And all because of that incident of Shabu. I cannot say the reason why I'm the first head of state to be chosen by these idiots when there are so many things in the Yunga and so they're fighting and, well, but I have this transmittal. I cannot reveal it, but I can tell you now. 3 days after, they were discussing. I was already listening to the tapes of their conversation. It was provided by me by another country. But the conversation was somewhere in Philippines and New York. Loida Reyes was one of them. And there was this, see you in the headquarters when the case is filed, blah, 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 blah. I knew in advance that they were onto it. Problem is, this case, from the looks of it, it's all politics. And, well, later remind me if I will tell you why. They cannot. Well, I'll tell you now. You know, America is not a member of the ICC, International Court of Justice. Why? Because if America signed that particular document as a member state of the ICC, the first to go to jail would have been Bush. Why? The Americans invaded Iraq because it was bruited about that there were weapons of mass destruction. Only to realize there was none and to admit before the whole world that there was no weapons of mass destruction. Here I am, I'm fighting a serious problem, and this lady, and that is why I said, if you convict me, find a country that promotes death penalty and kill me by a firing squad. I would be very happy to face them. It would be because our foremost hero, we have seen the Luneta Park, Mr. Rizal. He's our greatest hero. He was shot by the Spaniards on that spot there, in his on where the monument is right now, because of his defiance. I'm no Rizal. I am not bright as Rizal. But I would like just to imitate the way Rizal died. And I would be happy to, before the pull off the trigger, I would say, fuck you guys. You know, my oath of office simply says, reduced in its simple words, I, Rodrigo Duterte, having been elected to the position of President of the Republic of the Philippines, blah, blah, blah. The meaning and all it says, I am here, swear to God and people, that I will preserve the Republic of the Philippines and protect the Filipino people. Period. Wala nang iba. That is my guidance. And they keep on hammering, you know, Duterte is repeating his words, encouraging police. You know, the police, before they are policemen, they go to an academy. They go to school for 3 years, yung basic patrolman there. And for an officer, it's 4 years. And for the military like Jagger, they stay in the Philippine Military Academy for 4 years. And one of the things that they are really hearing every day here, there, is that you do not follow illegal orders. I never gave an illegal order to General Jagger. What I said when I was mayor here, it was turmoil and everything was topsy-turvy and our income was just 800 billion pesos. And I was running a big city, paying for the policemen, paying for the teachers, paying for the bureaucracy, and paving the roads and everything. It's almost 1,000 kilometers of road network in the rural area. Where will I get the money if we continue to be poor? And so I said, I will make the city peaceful. I will stop drugs. So I say to those who want to destroy my city, do not do it. Because I will kill you. And for those who want to create a generation of slaves to a chemical called shabu, which they will hunger on every day of their lives. And if they're without money, they will go for the kill, steal, beg, or borrow, just to have that shot to remove the monkey on their back. And about when I took over, there was and you could see it on TV, of thousands, and we have reached, at the end of the day, it was 1,000,004. But before that, General Santiago Opedia, whom I fired, I fired everybody taking so much liberal attitude towards the money of the people. And Santiago said during his time, there were 3 million already. Even if by a conservative estimate, you just add it, it would be 4, or maybe those are the same users during Santiago's days and now. Just put it at a liberal something, the same number, 3 million. Or just follow the findings of the PNP, Bato, 1,600,400. You think it's a joke? I lost every day a policeman or a soldier anywhere in the Philippines because of drugs. Why is it that up to now I have already lost something like 600 plus policemen and soldiers? Not counting the Marawi seats, because actually it was a war. Why am I losing my... And you call me extrajudicial killing? That thing is strange to us. What is extrajudicial? It is not a crime by the word itself. How do you define it? That he was killed outside of the court? Or outside of the case being heard? Or outside extrajudicial? So what are the perks of an extrajudicial killing added to it? And they want me to answer what, you know, when we sign treaties, like your country, we adopt the treaty as part of the laws of our land. Ganon yan eh. So the reason why I apologize to Senator Pona, and I will apologize because I have just, you know, Senator, you can understand that I have to say my piece of what I believe is the reason why I ran actually, and only because my daughter agreed to run as mayor to take my place over. And the most important thing, the Supreme Court allowed him to run, adopting a new principle that because there's a treaty, it says that no human being should be stateless. And you are treated as a citizen of your country where you are found. So that's the international law, and it's good. So Grace was one of them. But you know, the Constitution says Filipinos who run for the presidency must be natural-born citizens of this country. I have nothing against Grace. She's bright. And I really suppose that she is really a daughter of a Filipino. But the Constitution is very exacting. What do you mean by you are a Filipino, natural-born? One semester of our law school says it is when you are born, you come out of your mother's womb already a Filipino at birth. Then that's the only time that you can run. It is really very strict. And that has been impressed on us almost, as law students, because the Philippines must be really Filipino. And if you happen to elect a son of bitch, well, that is not the problem, not even the problem of the military and the police. If it's possible, so be it. That's what our law says. Yan ang problema dyan. Kaya ako na, ito ngayon tukbo ako. So, ito ko sa bonnet. But I will elaborate it. What did I promise you? Had no money, no supporters. In Manila, not even a single kagawad. Who supported me in Luzon? North. Only Amy Marcos. Tapos din sabihin lang kasi tinulungan ka ni mga na Marcos family, you allowed the burial of man. Look, stupid. The law says, who will be buried there in the libingan ng mga bayani? Of course, the heroes, the soldiers. Then, President, you must be the president at one time. Or you are a soldier. On both counts, Marcos was a president. You cannot deny that. And you sabi nila, he was a bogus soldier. Sabi niya, tama yung sabi. It's fake. If your opinion is different from mine, my news is fake, yours is right. That. We quarrel as you are fake. Why? Because you do not jive with what I believe. You have to. If he was not a soldier, he was not a president, then I would not have. That was a decision I made before I met the Marcoses for the. One is that I said, I will allow the burial of Marcos. It has created not an irritant, but a deep-seated Ilocanos of the North. Nasasaktan dyan sila. And only because we are not ready to admit, itong mga denial, look, we are ready to deny Marcos his honor. You know, if the Ilocanos would believe that Marcos was really their hero, let them have their hero too. The Visayans, who are the hero? That's my main complaint. Everybody on hero. Well, what about the Visayans? None. But, you know, it was Magellan who killed the first colonial. He killed, Lapu-Lapu rather, killed Magellan. He was set foot on Cebu. Pinatay talaga siya ni Lapu-Lapu. But Lapu-Lapu was a Muslim. And so was Raja Soliman of Manila. And they were all Malays. And because they came earlier than Magellan. So when Magellan landed in Leyte in 1521, Islam was already thriving in Mindanao. All of the tribes, Maranao, Maguindanao, Iranon, Sama, then Kagan of Davao, Usog, tapos doon sa Basilan, mga nagsalupo din. There are many tribes. So, yun ang nangyari. This problem is not ours. It was the colonial Spain and America, especially when it was a time to occupy because Spain lost in the Philippine War. One of which was given was really the Philippine Islands. So the Americans were all Protestants or at least Christians. When they came to Mindanao here, dito sa Pilipinas, ayaw magtrabaho ng mga, the Muslim farmers would not work for them. And the Americans saw the promise of Mindanao. No typhoon, good soil, everything. Not get the Christians to, Mindanao is a land of promise. Come here. Just like go west, young men. Doon sa America. Remember, there was this gold rush in the state of go west, young man. So if you face America, the west is really the left. It means California, Nebraska. So ganon nangyari. So they gave, they farmed out the lands by giving homestead, corporations, without really also thinking that there are original Adams and Eves, Malay. We're all Malay brothers and sisters. Mixed, plenty. In Davao, there's the most, has the number of descended Filipino. They were here 1 century ago. So, ganun ang nangyari. So, because at that time, Mindanao was very, very, very big. So with the Visayans came, later on the Ilonggos came. So they went to this southern part of the city, occupying here, and because it was big. Nobody claiming ownership of the. It was simply big. During 1949, this thing here was a dirt wood. So now Mindanao is very small because so many people now claiming the title which their ancestors came till the land. Karamihan yan Ilocano. Yan mga Bisaya. So now it's trouble. Because along the way, the investors before, the minings were all Americans. Most of the lands were given to the Spaniards, they called the insulares. Those were the Spaniards born here, not in Madrid, but they were Spanish citizens. Yun ang pagbibigay. Now, here comes now the Moro people claiming back what was there before, which is gone now. So I tell you, as your president, and from being, my father was a Visayan. If we cannot agree on certain things, or at least reconfigure and give them a contiguous territory of their own, not a separate, I will never agree to that. Not an independent PNP, because I will never agree to that. Not a autonomous armed forces, because I will never agree to that. But I will always be in favor of reconfiguring Mindanao to give them their ancestral lands. Or else there will be war. In a war, the MI and MM, both entities are talking to us. The rest are simply rebels and the hotheads. But in a war, these two MIMN main rebel organization would merge. And in a war, my enemy would be your friend. And you'd open the floodgates of Mindanao to the invasion of the forces. Then we will have trouble. It be a wasteland just like in the Middle East. Look at Syria, Iraq, Libya, and Marawi. Flattened. Yun. That is what it is. Ngayon, sama ng loob ko is, hindi, this is not a problem which we created by ourselves or for ourselves. This is a problem of the colonials. Just like the Middle East. Just like Malaysia was taken over the British, Indonesia by the Dutch, Philippines by the Spaniards, and the colonials. Just like the Middle East, Britain had its own country sponsor, patronizing Saudi Arabia. Some countries went to Italy, American, and they built their empires. What? At the expense of what? Of the oil. of the Arabs. So when they were there already, modern times and the living past, nandito na sila, itong mga European and all the bright guys think that, the footprints are so deep now. Time for a climate change. So we also join this thing here. But I said, okay, we cannot go down. We'll go kaput. So there's a ceiling. This is our usual output. Okay, I will reduce it proportionally. You, since you are there on that level, you also want to cut a little bit. So progressively naggumaganon. So, in a word, we will never reach the heights of our industrial prosperity kasi pinipigilan because of climate change. But by the way, how much is the contribution of the footprints of the Philippines? 0.00. We only have 4 factories. There's no factories around it. What we have is a fucking thing that... kasi no yan. Then they impose their moral. Ako, again, I would assure the Canadian people, we're friends. We do not hate you. We love Canadians because there are a lot of Filipinos there. Let them come home first, and I will say you what is in my heart. In the meantime, I'm lying. You read today's newspaper, nandyan, that they will sell us helicopters. But you cannot use the helicopters bought from the Bell for war. Because you cannot use our product to wage against your own people. So, ang pwede mong gamitin lang, the only use or the only utility, which is really inutility also, can use only for evacuation, and just newspaper, and assistance during disaster. Well, I respect your change of values there. Walang problema. May helicopter ako. Hindi ko magamit sa mga rebelde. Anong masakit yan ang rebelde dito sa Mindanao? Halo, ha? The ISIS. So they want us to fight the ISIS. Our day-to-day business, we can never have the edge. Helicopter. So do not use our... We will sell, but only for evacuation. So I must just order the army to go there in front, use the slingshot, and die there so that I can use the helicopter for which it was bought. Sabi ko kanina, we will stop buying. I am no one, but I said, anything that is arms, do not. Canada is out. We respect the policy of the Canadian people. Well and good. Do not buy anything that has something to do with arms. But if you need cosmetics, you want to be beautiful and beauty products, okay. Do they realize that we are fighting a war? That if this government will collapse, and Guerrero is also there lying dead and being hanged, there will be a trouble. Because how about the soldiers of those who are able to just to survive? That's what's happened in Iraq and Libya. nakita nila this what was happening to their country, which drove them to extremism. The respected leader, like Gaddafi, when he was captured, he was treated like a dog. He was in a culvert in a canal, and Saddam was hung. And so the country is now fragmented because it belongs to who is in power, who has the arms, and who can have the capacity to kill people. Hindi ko maintindihan ng ano nila. I ordered 23 police rifles. Hindi nga yung, ayaw niya pagbili yung, sabi ko yung single, as long as you press the trigger, pero yung single shot, after that, you have to pull it again. Yung parang isa, sabi ko, okay na yan. Maganda. But anyway, that was the deal. Senators took the floor. I do not sell it to Duterte because he will kill the drug addict. Who is the leader in this town or in this planet would not say that if we... Pilipina ito na Litson in Kuwait. Pinaplantsa nila yung katawan, and that's there. I'll give it to you. Drugs. I said, if the mother, again, I'll repeat, if the mother goes out of the house to work in Kuwait, and because they are poor, children are left with the... The moment she leaves the house and ceases to supervise the children, the family becomes dysfunctional. If both parents, father and son, leave the country to work outside and pass the children to yung mga aunts, uncles, they are not supervised, they are not loved as really their children, and they go. Ito kasing mga drugista, if they live in a community, they know who has the money. Because shabu is for the poor. That is a merchandise for the poor. It is not for the rich. The rich now, they use cocaine. Marami dyan. The rich people use cocaine. And they have their yachts. And they have their airplanes to do it. Walang magawa ang gobyerno. But that is expensive, and it does not destroy as much like cocaine. Why? Because they are grown. Tanim eh. May tawag dyan. Itong shabu is a mix of deadly chemicals. That is why pag pumasok sa utak yan, it shrinks the brain. And most of the shabu natatamaan, ang mga mahirap, rehab completely is no longer feasible. And if they do it per hit is 200 per day, the end of a week it's how much? 20,000? Times it by one year, then compare that with the number of people affected by 1 million plus. If it's 3 million, that's video around 206 billion industry. Kuntahin mo. You'll arrive at the same number. 206 billion. Mahirap si, ano ba ito? Is this, ano ba itong hotel na ito? Papalipat-lipat ko. This is the 4th hotel that I've been to. So I am late. Called for, I will tell you now why I was late. Yun ang problema ko. They are reduced to slaves, craving, and looking for money to have it. To have the fix. Otherwise, there will be the monkey will be scratching all day. The only relief is you have to have your fix. Na itong mga tao na to, alam nila kung sino ang may regular na pera umaabot. Alam mo kung saan? Galing dito. Papadala nila ang pera. They are raped, degraded, and they injured because. Now let me, as I said, I know that there are employees of the airline who are Arabs. Not Arabs, just like not all Filipinos, but there are Filipinos, also those. There are some tribes in Arab, particularly in Kuwait, was the most number of incidents. I was late because I called for the labor secretary, and I had to wait for him because I said, fly as soon as you can. So you had to wait because it was important to me. At least, though I'm not trying to believe your presence here. But to me, it was more important with its concern. There were 6, 1 in December, then 6 suicides, and killed under mysterious circumstances. Ang karamihan kasi, yung pinaplansya yung katawan in Kuwait. Binubugbog. These are not lies. It came from the embassy of my country. You see the mutilation? I'll give you. Yung tayo dyan sa gitna, just the autopsy. Hanggang autopsy lang mo yan sila. There's really no serious finding. Was dragged by a police upstairs, while she was down on her knees sa police. Broken it. Ano ito? Yung inside the room, tapos putol na ang tiil. Putol na yung paa. Hindi ko talaga alam mag-Tagalog. Kayo kasi mga Tagalog, ano yung mag-aral ng Bisaya? Kami noon may Tagalog subject kami. Ano ba sabi mo, bakit mag-aral ng Tagalog? Hindi naman kayo nag-aral ng Bisaya. Kaya ang ginawa ko nung presidente ako, I created the Order of Lapu-Lapu. So, sinabi yung historical commission ko, si Badoy, kung Badoy, bantay ka sa akin. Yung hero namin, was a Muslim actually, was brave. Anong ginawa ninyo sa hero namin? Kami mga Bisaya, the tribe, cannot call Bisaya, we are, kung Cebuano kami, our tribe is Sugbo. So the original from Cebu would say, ano ka, Sugbuanon. That's the tribe. We have tribe, just like Maranao and Marami, but the conversion of the religion was another thing. An endless. Noon pa yan. Noon pa yan. Alam mo ito, kayong mga Pilipino, matagal na to. We just kept silent. We endured it because we are afraid that we would lose the market. Kaya yan ang inadapt ng, I do not want to mention, but all administrations, yan ang behavior. Ministerial, ano. Sabi ko kay Bebot, sabi ko, Bot, confronted him yung, kasi yung, the latest one was a Filipina that was placed inside the freezer. She was there for 1 year. And when the tenant left, so yung landlord pumunta doon sa apartment, pagbukas ng freezer, for 1 year ang Pilipina nandoon sa loob ng freezer. Patay. Sabi ko, kagabi sa aeroplano, I was met with the military guys. Sabi ko, hindi ko na ito kaya. I will not remain silent. Either give me the space to air my sentiment, or if I cannot give the Filipino the face of a brutal victim, then I will resign. Inote lang. Resign na lang ako. For what? Sabihin nila ako diktador, anak ng... If they can perfect that federal setup in 2020, I will step down and give way. That is my commitment to you all, educated guys. Do not mind about yung... Hindi ako ganun. I've been mayor of this Davao City for 23 years. But for the time that I was, sabi na diktador ako, no, I was just strict. At saka ay talagang ito, sabi ko, you know, we love Kuwait. I know a lot of people who come to Kuwait, and they are good. But the problem is the culture. Hindi ko na kaya tanggapin to. I will not keep silent, but I will really confront you. O ito ngayon. Look, when the Americans fought Iraq, they went inside. To maintain the equilibrium there, to at least prevent another attack to Kuwait by the Iraqis. To maintain the balance of power there, the Americans really were forced to place something of a fulcrum there. But mainly because it was to protect Kuwait. Because Kuwait was invaded by the Iraqis. And when the Americans there came alongside to serve that war there of Bush, alam mo, I'm sure at the behest of the Americans, it was the American-British expedition. Because of the behest of these two countries, I just don't know who. We calling doctors and nurses. They were first deployed there in Kuwait before they entered Iraq. But we did it because we followed maybe the Americans. I don't know, but there are Canadians also. Parang allied. It's an allied of whites, actually. Canada, Britain, France. These are the biggest. Now, who would want to impose their views on us? So to the people of Kuwait, we have not done anything you wrong. We do not owe you anything. Our only sin, or the only sin of these people that you have brutally treated or killed, because they are just poor. They are poor, they have to work there and suffer. Alam mo, I'll tell you, I've been there. And it was an Arab legislator who told me. There were 3 Filipinas in Davao City. Nahuli, they were caught by the religious police selling rosaries. So two of the families were there every day. I was a congressman then. Sabi ng, my wife said, you know, they've been there almost every day. Sunrise, they are there already at the gate crying. Do something about it. So I flew to Saudi. And King Fahd was still, later on he suffered dementia progressively. But at that time he was able to give the orders of release. I thank him. Then the palace biggie there, I don't know if it was he said, you should talk to your counterpart. My counterpart, ang aking committee is law and order. So, ang aking counterpart, we talk in the parliament of Saudi Arabia. I went there until evening. Sabi niya, better warn your countrymen. There are some tribes far from here. Kumbaga ano pa, mga halos na doon na sa Oriental. And you know, it's their thing. If you're a slave, the first would be the employer, then the son, and the son would call his friends. And when I came back, nag-hold ako. Why? Kasi maraming may asawa dito. There are husbands and millions of them who would be listening to me. And after tonight, their brain would start to, at this time. And human nature is this. Human nature, hindi lang yan Pilipino. When your wife is raped, you are angry at the world, not so much about the rape, but you take it against your own wife. And that's the start of a family. Or the husbands would say, well, anyway, my wife is being used by somebody. He gets his pregnant neighbor. Mga ngaliwan, it's biology. Huwag na tayo magwan. During the presidential debate, Duterte perceived to be so have many girls. What? You have mistresses. So, it's all biology. What are we here for, goddamn? Might as well die. You come here, you listen, then you go home. So, without biology, what are you supposed to do with your prick? Flatten it? Oh, ganun ang magsabi. I talk that way. They say I'm bastos, I'm a vulgar person. Correct, I am. But at least that's the truth. You might not want to hear it. It might be indecent language, but that's the truth. Yan ang problema. Kaya hindi ako nagbitaw. Kasi I know that there will be, the gray matter between the ears starts to work. And he will now begin to picture what is happening there. I kept that, I controlled myself, and only a few Filipinos. Sinabi ko. And the military. Tinago ko, but now I cannot. Hindi ako, I said, we do not take revenge, there's no vengeance, no nothing. I simply want to address myself to the people of Kuwait. We serve you, we help you. We went to war. We sent doctors. Is this the way you return or sweat? Is this the way how you reciprocate the goodness of the Filipino people? I'm just asking. Because if you really want to do it, you can do it. If you say that, stop that stupid thing. So they both said that we'll just talk and arrange. So what about the Filipinos? I will use all the money of government to fund their livelihoods here. All the money that there's no such thing as a country without money. You can always borrow. Ayun, mga economists, mayroon bang, is there a country in this world which has no money, even those countries are fighting day-to-day, killing people with nothing, not productive, but they have the money? Yes. Why? Because there is money. You can always borrow. Or you give concessions to foreigners, especially that gold in Africa and the copper and all. Then go there. Mining. I'll stop mining. Open pit. I will close Boracay. Boracay is a cesspool. And yan si Architect Palapok. So I will tell you what is the tragedy of. Now, during the election I was there, yung basura na was just 20 meters away from the beach. At a distance, you say, the cotton balls of Boracay was a white sand. But you go into the water, it's smelly. It smell of what? Shit. Kasi lahat doon ang palabas nila. So Boracay, in a few hands there, is destroying the environment of the Republic of the Philippines and creating a disaster coming. There will be a time that no more foreigner will go there because he will have, when he go back to the plane to where he belongs, he will be full of shit going back and forth to the restroom. Si Mato, si General, he was assigned here. Give you 6 months. Clean the goddamn thing. Now, there is one, there are complaints. Bakit mahilig ka sa military? Maybe you want to incriminate yourself? Why should I? I'm working. When there was war, I was with them. During the height of the Marawi siege, I landed on the main battle area and I took off at 8 o'clock at night, 2 beses, in the midst of a coconut plantation and the only clearing there. Naglanding kami. And I took off at twice sa gabi. Sabi nila, matamaan ka dyan kasi may mga, let be. So be it. If it's our time, it is our time. So ano mang reklamo ng military sa akin? I was with them all along. I love my soldiers. I go there, and everyone who was wounded there gets a medal. Baski lang yung shrapnels there. Because, masakit na nga yung tamtak, yung putang ina eh. Even a thumbtack would, because every soldier who gets wounded, good that I ordered, I said, the Lapu-Lapu words. So I gave every soldier who wounded there medal. I toured the entire land. I went to Hulo, I've been to Basilan. I was there with them. So, bakit ako magpalakas sa military? I'm a dictator? I mean, Jagger should relay it to the officers yung kaharap ninyo yan. Get into their heads that nobody, but nobody should be a dictator in this country because the military will not allow it. It is not allowed under the Constitution. As a matter of fact, I said, if I die, I was doing in Makati, see to it that these rules of succession in the Constitution will be followed. Sabi ko, pag madisgrasya ako dito, hambugiro, ganun-ganun rin ako doon. Just to show to the soldiers that I am with you and we will die together. But unfortunately, Jagger is retiring April. And his position is waiting because I fired the Marina, the one agency who handles the ports. Kaya sabi ko somebody told me, Mayor, when I say Mayor, that's it. I don't address myself as President. If you want to address me, do not call me President. I will not answer you. I will not. If you say Mayor, okay. The Mayor, maraming lumalabas sa panahon mo. So I said to look around. Ang unang tinamaan, forgot this guy. Sabi ko, he had 12. Itong style ng mga buang Climate Change Conference in Africa, nandoon. Climate Change in Europe, sa Switzerland, nandoon. Climate Change in California, nandoon. Conference about... Ilan bang climate change ang pinapasukang putang inang yan? Sir, kasi we have to share the knowledge of what climate change so that we can control. Putang ina ka. Sige, climate change. Dumami tuloy ang bagyo sa Pilipinas. Palabas na lang, may pinupuwit pa ng isang bago nandito sa... So now, nobody gets out of the country. You have to ask my permission. Lahat yung CHED, higher education, the one sa mga universities, out. And Santiago, out. The department secretary, the local government, in the interior, local government, out. Marami out, lahat out. If I'll see at the tawagin kita, how many times did you go out? 9. Why? Ito because change about it. Itong sa Marina, about ports management. Nagbubungguan ang yung barko mong putang inito Pilipinas, pupunta ka pa doon para stupid can you get? That inotel you have to be lectured upon in the international forum. You better resign. I do not like you. Bakit military? Kasi ang military isang utos lang. If I say, look at with this presentation, doon sa cabinet, Marawi, may isang cabinet doon, member na, he wants the thing to be his project, management, executive committee, tapos ito dito, parang para sa administration, operation, finance. Tapos sa baba, operation na Ngumintay ako. Tapos niya, sabi ko, you call General Del Rosario. The General Del Rosario was served also in Davao as the, pareho sila na General, Task Force Davao during my time. Dumaan sila ito. So that, it is not because the military is my favorite. These guys are not from here. But during their tour of duty sa career nila, napadaan ng Mindanao yan. Kaya kilala ko yan sila lahat. And only those also military men that I know. Because I know them. The others, they're all good, honest, but the problem is I do not know you. So lahat yan sila. Si Anyo, became the, sabi ko, tumulungan mo si Mato. No, Jagger will assume, so I'm looking for another guy. Ako naman, I always follow the progress nila. No undergrads we get, except itong si Bato, because police is, mahirap dalhin ang police. Mahirap talaga ang police. Kita mo, natutulog ang mga puta. Ginagawa na nila yan sa akin. Pagdating ko, alam mo ang gawin yan? Dating ng buang, yung dalawang mesa na mamaliit, yung gano'n, yan. I-connect nila yan, tupong-tupong, Bisaya. Lagyan na latag ng newspaper, maghubad ng baspatos, maya-maya yung electric pa na. Ngayon, kita ko si Agbayalde kanina, nagwala. Pumunta siya, nakamotor lang eh. Hindi nahata ng mga buang. Ako ganon. Ganon talaga ang pulis. Kumakain ng durian. Tapos pagtapos siya, magtindig lang. Sakay ng sakyan, gano'n. Ibig sabihin, military o. Pagdating ng konduktor, may magkain ng durian, hindi magbayad. Maawa naman kasi ako. Alam mo, double ang salary na nila. And it was good that that was part of my campaign promise. Imagine if I promise it o gawin na ako after the Marawi. Sabihin ka na sundan ang putang ina mo kung hindi kami namatay lahat. Sabi ko, next year, that was election time, doble na. So yung mga general, puro mayaman na yan. Wala lagi ang sweldo, doble. Pero may mga pamilya. Now, i-connect ko na. This is the last. Bakit? May iba dito, milyonaryo na. Huwag na lang tayo magbulahan. Pero kayong mga dyan iba, kayo nasa likod. Kayo na, para hindi ako magkalit. Kaya yung kayong mga kamera dyan, ang mga elitista ng Pilipinong ugok. How much do you get when you go out, retire? Military men, 56 years old, compulsory retirement. Kayo, 60, alis na kayo. Kayo mga cameraman. How much ang retirement ninyo benefit sa SSS? GSIS kami. Ako, I retire something like peg at the last salary yan. So, pare-pareho naman kaming sweldo ng mga mga congressman, pati senador. Medyo maliit lang ako ng kote. Something like in pesos, mga 400. Okay? Mag-retire kami. So, I get 4 million. I will be out of office exactly 4 years from now. Ang pensyon ko, 4 million. Now, if God will keep me alive, I'll be retiring at age 77. If I get to live another 10 years, saan ako magkuha ng medisina ko? Inday si family. Maski nasabihin mo si Inday may, sabi ko sa inyo, meron ako dapat niyang 40 million plus. That's all the money. No, kayong nandyan sa higher echelons of society, kayo mga negosyante, you want to find out, I will give you the authority. Pindutin mo lang at lalabas yan. I said it could not be more than 40 million, including my inheritance. So, yan lang. If I get to live for ang sundalo, ang mga sarhento, mga korporal, magkano sweldo nila? At magkano ang savings, kung meron, if at all, o magkano ang kanilang pensyon? 56 years old, mag-retire na. At that time, ang mga anak nito, patapos pa sa college or papasok pa lang. Ngayon, kung mga anak nila, kasi alam doon sa may pera, Itong mga to, nagpakahirap doon, magpahindot, putang ina niya. Magpa-rape araw-araw, tiisin niya. Tapos maging drug addict. She suffered almost 4 or 5 years only to find out pagdating dito, ang anak niya drug addict. Because I said shabu is for the poor. Baski itong mga military, they're out in the fields fighting for this country. And yet, yung mga anak nila, yung shabu, they're being thrown every day, basahin mo yung newspaper. And this girl, this prosecutor has the goal to. Ako pa yung inuna. Siguro, file the case because I want to cross-examine you. Ako mismo. Because, when I say, the treaty shall form part of the laws of the land. In this city, in this country, alam ninyo yan, every penal or punitive measure must be published in the official gazette. Tinanong kong official gazette, pinablish ba ninyo kasi makukulong ako? That is required. Without that, you denied me my due process. Paano mo makukulong ngayon? Because certainly a treaty cannot be more powerful than a constitution. It's just an agreement internationally incorporated to form part of the law of our land, but it does not release people in government from complying with the rules of the Constitution. Tanongin ko lang, did you say to it that stupid law, that actionable law? Common law sila eh. What are extrajudicial, extreme cruelty, mga blah, 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 genocide. That's what happening now in Burma. Bakit nila ikulong yung mga military doon? Pero let me end this by saying, let's just na kasi. I hope you can carry this message. What's your name? I respect you as a woman, but as a lawyer, medyo masyado, do not go into that kind of adventure. It's a messy one, and I assure you, I'm not bright. I'm not the brightest lawyer in town. I do not even rate myself as good. Fair, whatever. But you will get your comeuppance. You cannot just the people takutin mo na Trillanes nagsasayaw-sayaw. Buong walang alam eh. Yan ang mahirap sa mga gustong power. They want power, hungry for power, attention. There's one guy na nag-mutiny, putang ina, sikat pa ngayon. Ako, kasi because if you argue with stupid people, you cannot, there's no medicine for that. There's no cure for stupidity. So the best way, sabi nga kay Inday, hayaan mo na yan. Kaya hindi nanalo, look at what he got, 4% of... May PMA man sana yan, pero may nakalusot ang buang. I don't know why. Ako, believe ako sa mga, kaya I'm getting them to work for me. Actually, yung cabinet ko, almost all, with the addition of the cabinet now is heavily infested with military men. Dalawa lang kaming Bisaya dyan, puro Ilocano yan sila lahat. Ito, classmate ko, Ilocano, Kinam. He used to work for the immigration. He's my classmate. Retired na. So, let me state it, that I announced the banning of sa tao sa bebot. I don't give a shit. Sabi ko yung suspension. But I have to, as president, I have to give that problem face. Yung ibang presidente, diplomatic protest. That's garbage to me. So if you do not like us, say goodbye. So I will work. Somehow we will survive. Ganun lang tayo, but we will survive. In the fullness of God's time, I tell you, we will make it. Basta wala lang corruption. Kaya disto, I need telco to improve. Kaya government gives you the frequency free. May taga-smart dito pati ano. Galit ako, suntukin ko na lang kayo kaya. Sila yan. Wala man akong kaibigan ko man lahat. I mean, I appreciate that they're being there in business also. Otherwise, we would not have anything. But ito, abogado ka man, binigay natin sila ng extra, hoping that they would use these frequencies to further strengthen their duopoly. Kung sabi ko, sige, tama lang yan, para to improve. Gusto ko Pilipino eh. Although I know that Salim is behind bulahan pa tayo dito. Okay, sige lang. Kasi MVP, okay lang. Ngayon, sabi ko, walang improvement. Sabi ko, invite China. Anybody from China, but what's the money? Wala akong... Ngayon, patay, huwag ninyong gawain talaga sa akin yan. Pabayarin ako. Cabinet meeting na yung the other night, we ended at 2 o'clock arguing. Kaya gusto nila magpabayad. Putang ina. Sabihin mo itong sa dalawang ito, ha? Mamili sila. Putang, isauli nila pupuntahan ko sa opinas, sampaling ko sila. Putang ina, binigay ko sa iyo libre. Binigay ko sa iyo libre, tapos ngayon hinihingi ko, kaya hindi mo nagamit, ibigay ko sa iba. Magbayad ako. Sabi ko kasi, Rio, si Colonel yan, military rin yan. It is good. Siya yung nagpamasama, sabi ko, look, medyo nagalit ako. Sabi ko, look, doon, pag ka magpunta dito sa akin na gano'n, magpabayad. Anong tingin nila sa atin? Bugok? Sabi ko, balikan mo doon bukas. Sabihin mo. Hindi na sa ulo yun. Puntahan ko sila sa opisina, ako lang mag-isa. Hindi ko na sampal yung mga puta. Yan pangako, ako lang mag-isa. Ginawa ko nandito. You know him. Basta, sabi ko sabi niya, si Duterte, hindi yan magtagal. 2 years yan, bagsak na yan. Military magkulita, sabi. Di, nakikinig ako na yung si General Tagoy. Yung presidential commander ng Presidential Guard. Itong mga intrigador, si Medi, pati ito pampangkin nyo, siyempre, kay Dayan. Mayor sabi ni hindi ka daw tatagal. Sino may sabi? Si sabi niya gano'n, doon sa kapihan sa... Sabi ko kay Bong, tawagan mo yung putang ina niya. Unfortunately, nandoon nga. Pagbigay ni Bong, sabi ko, ikaw si Juan, sabi ko, putang ina ka, litsi ka. Hindi bang kaya ako magtagal, unahin kita, nasaan ka? Nasaan ka? Huwag kang magtago. Putang ina mo, hanapin kita. Papatayin kita sa harap ng tema nyo. 100 hectares. Kaya sabi ko, kung saan ka? Sabi niya, nandito sa Seda, Mayor. Huwag kang umalis dyan, putang ina mo. Hintayin mo. Tapos sabi ko kay, may puntahan ako lang mag-isa. Huwag kayong sumunod. Punta na ako sa Seda. Tapos pagbaba ko, sinabi ko ulit sa kanya, huwag kayong magsunod. Kaya ako lang pumasok doon. Sabi ko, saan yung kwarto mo? Tanong ko yan. Katok na ako. Pagbukas niya, putang. Mayor, anong kasalanan ko? Putang ina, kasalanan mo kasi duwag ka. Let's check up mo. Patayan tayo dito. Ay, gagawin ko sa kanila, tingnan mo. Umalis kayo dyan. Pag hindi ka na, pagpakain ko yung... yan ang problema dyan eh. You actually fuck the money of the people. Libre binigay ko sa isuli mo sa akin, maghingi ka. Ngayon, undersecretary ng budget namin, yung undersecretary ng budget, wala kang pera. Hindi ka lahat ng panahon, may project ka, punta ka sa kanya. Wala sa GAA. Kung wala sa GAA, mahirapan ka. So maghanap ka ngayon. Puntahan mo itong tao na ito. Siya magpunta doon sa budget yung sinipa ko sa muka. Ginanong ko talaga putang ina ka. Ay, sapatos ko doon. Tapos siya magbigay, may cut siya. Ang negosyo, buti na rin yung mga korporasyon ninyo na maghingi, ay okay lang. Dito pa sa akin, ay, kaya ang gobyerno, kaya ako sabi, diktador. Diktador talaga. Kasi kung walang, hindi ako diktador, sino maniwala sa akin? Yung sabi, ipabili na yung, sabi ni Sid, dinalapin niya. Kaya mahusay yan. Davao rin yan. Sabi ko, Sid, sunugin mo. Ha? Oo. Sirain mo. Putang inang. Kung wala. Kung meron siya, wala tayo. Di wala lahat. Putang ina, sumiswerte. Sinira ko. Maraming umiyak. Anong dito sa Davao umalas. Isang bagong Mercedes-Benz at dalawang brand new Land Cruiser. Sabi ko, tadtarin mo yan. Ang iba naman, imberguhin tapos gamitin na lang daw. Kung na. Mas lalo tayong matamaan yan. Imberguhin, seizure, forfeited, di ate na. So, kung gusto ko daw, yung Land Cruiser ko na. Kayong taga Davao. O, Davao Light. Alam mo man yan. Ayun, batayin niya ako pag-uwi. Pick up lang ako. Hanggang ngayon, pick up ako. Napapapilib ako na. Komportable lang ako sana-sanay. Yun ang... So there is a total ban now of workers to Kuwait. And I have given the Belios 72 hours. 72 hours to go there and pick up the Filipinos na gustong umuwi. Kung gusto ni Luciutan na sweetie kami, padala siya ng 5 eroplano doon. Tapos libre. Doon pa ako makain sa kanya bukas ng gabi. Totoo yan. Bakit ginawa? Kung totoo yan, I mean, huwag mo na sabihin sa kanya, 6 billion, 7 billion, ilang presidente dumaan dito? Kolekta. Sabi ko sa kanya, 10 days. Pag hindi, kunin ko yung mga aeroplano mo, pagbinta ko dyan sa Bakalan. Marami yan. Ako, hindi ako nagmamakalinis. Huwag mo sabihin na ako nagpapakurni dito na ako. Pareho rin tayo na ano. I have faults. Plenty, as a matter of fact. More than yours. Pero, alam mo, ang malas pati nitong komunista, magkaibigan kami niyan. Kasi left talaga. Hindi ko sinasabi ako, membro ako ng Communist Party. Alam ng military yan. Left talaga kasi dumating kami dito sa Davao. Ito, itong lugar ni kay Dominguez man to, classmate ko yan. Saan may-ari nito. Ano man to? Pero bright talaga yan. Valedictorian, grade school kami hanggang, sabi ba kayo, na-expelled ako sa Ateneo second year, so I was not there sa. Pero kabats ko yan. Puro bright yan. Totoo, Lorenzana, valedictorian yan. General, valedictorian. Si Biat Aguirre, cum laude. Dalawa lang siyang cum laude. Wala ang buhok niya sa kakaaral. O yan, sige. Hindi ka kasi magkwento ng 70. Ako 75. Diyan sa Liligarda, pababa mo doon sa bridge, meron tindahan, ice cold beer, chill. Doon kami nagbabasa ng libro. May jukebox pa. Lahat yan sila. Artugadi, valedictorian namin sa klase. Lahat yan sila, valedictorian. Ako, Mr. 75. Nakinakit lang ako. Kasi itong mga bright na to, nauna, 7 years ako yung original K-12. 7 years ako sa school. Ngayon yung anak ko, si Veronica, pa, sabihin mo dyan kay Secretary Brunes, bakit mo yan sa inyong haba-habain pa nila? Sabi ko, anak, kalma ka lang. Kaya baka ito, balik sa atin, ito, itatay mo ulit, 7 years high school yan. Ako kasi, hindi ako nagmamadali. Kung magsabi, layas tayo, pasyal, okay lang. Tanan ng babae, okay lang. Tuta, isa uli mo man yan, kaya hanapin mo talaga ng nanay. Ngayon, pag late. Pero alam mo, minsan, ang Panginoong Diyos, sabi niya, kayong mga bright dyan, kayong mga bright na kilala ni Duterte, magpila kayo sa Malacanang, mag-apply kayo kasi ang boss ninyo naghihintay na doon kay maraming otos para sa bayan. So yung 75, ito ngayon ang boss ng mga 95. Ganyan lang ang buhay. Ganyan lang ang buhay. That's life. But there are certain, I said, we have all efforts. I'm going, but alam mo, mano rin ako kasi marami akong sa Bisaya apan. English is a but of the matter is sa Tagalog ano yung pag-translate ng yawa niya? Ano ang sabi? Paano sa pero so ganon. So I appreciate it very much kasi naghintay kayo sa akin. At yung iba naman, kasi yung iba pag ayaw, bigla na lang mawala. Magtindig mo, pahuli kita ng PSD dyan ngayon, balik ka dyan. And I'd like to welcome you to the city. I'm not the mayor anymore, but you will find that relatively. I'm not saying it's an absolute thing, but relatively. You're better off just walking there. Wala namang, dito wala masyadong shabu, wala masyadong kidnapper. Patay na eh. Di, sabihin mo nung puti, yung black na, sakit. Tama pala sila ang sinabi mo. Istorya lang yan. Wala ka pala. I am a worker of government precisely to administer. If you have any question now, tell me. Or ask me so that I can respond properly. Or ganito yan. I've told you, anybody of you complaining about corruption, go to Malacanang because I will have a space for you in my schedule. Kaya yung natalo doon sa bidding, yun ang nag-complain doon sa frigate, dalawa. Ang naglagay sa pangalan ni Bong, kasi pa-endorse yan eh. Bong, kasi, but there's nothing wrong there. Wala na, is complaining. Kasi bakit? Yung winning, bakit hanggang ngayon walang order of delivery? Kasi nga, nag-away si Mercado, pati si Lorenzana. Gusto ni Mercado yung Hyundai, yung original na Hyundai na kanyang gusto ni Mercado palitan ng iba. Ayaw ni Lorenzana kasi matagal na. Yun lang naman walang pera. But, I don't know, gusto niya na ibang armas. Sabi ni Lorenzana, wag mo nang pakialaman yan kasi ang armas dala na doon sa purchase. And that was purchased during the time of Aquino. Si Gasmin ang nag-sign dyan sa contract. Walang pakialam to. Naglagay lang naglagay ng Bong. Kaya nung sinabi nila na nag-intervene, tapos tumawag, may Senate investigation, sabi ko, Bong. Kasi sinabi sa kanya, nagmangganan loob, sigalong because total executive session. Sabi ko, yan ang wag mong gawin, Bong. Demand an open and transparent public hearing. And demand how this came about, the originals, para makita and that it may be to their sorrow. Lalabas talaga yan dyan. Kung bakit nagkukumpit silang dalawa, maglagay ng. At huwag kang pumayag ng secret meeting niya. Harap-harapan, sabihin mo, yan ang nangyari. Hindi ko nakita yung, hindi mo talaga niya nakita yung papel. Kasi na-diretso man. Kasi, military, ba't pa siya makaalam? So, diretso na yan doon. To comment. Hindi si Bong. Si Mercado. Tignan naman, wala kami pakialam dyan. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, and if I am found lying, you can ask me publicly, any one of you, may kilala kayo sa Malacanang, walang commercial document na umaabot sa Malacanang. Kung ikaw cabinet member sa Department of Highway, iyo yan. Huwag mong padala sa akin for approval. Kasi noon, in the past, magdaan doon kasi kasi si Major Di walang pakialaman. Hindi dumaan sa kanya yan. Pagka kay Sunny Dominguez yan, iyo yan. Ang problema iyo, pati ang solusyon. Wala akong pakialam. There will never be a time that may even a little of effort na magtingin ako ng dokumento. Wala ako. I do not call. Marami mga military, tanongin ninyo makikinig. I do not call I did not even call Jagger. The only time that I called si Jag was yung ceasefire tapos nag-violate ang NPA. Sabi nung ceasefire, binaril nila yung sundalo ko, 2, patay. Tapos yung pulis doon sa Cagayan. Tinanong ko yung mga doktor doon, ilang tama ang sundalo? Ang sagot sa akin ng mga sundalo, 73 gunshot wounds. So, bali, isang magazine is 25. Bali, 3 magazine, iniwas-was nila doon. Doon ako nagalit, tinawagan ko that was the only time nag-usap ko. Sabi ko, Jag, I am abbreviating the period. They declared February 8. February 4, nangyari yun. Sabi ko, resume na tayo. Ngayon, sabi ng human rights, gera to. Nabi ko sa kanila, pag may mga MP maghawak ng baril, you're just a trigger pull away. Patayin mo. Kasi tumaan mo sa paa, makatama pa yan. Human rights, Duterte talagang violente. Gago ka pa. Sabi pa, pagkatapos, tapusin mo para human rights. Itong mga left, revolusyon ang kailangan, yung mga bata, US, Duterte, putang ina, kailan pa ako naging Amerikano? Hindi nga, totoo. And you know that, hindi ako nag-iusap ng Amerika. Ang ambasador lang. Ang nag-uusap, ang military armed forces of the Philippines, pati armed forces. Hindi ako nakikisali dyan. Alam mo bakit? Ayaw ko magipag-usap. Rason niya, marami. Salita yung surhinto, kala mo, koronel ang puto. Ayaw ko magipag-usap. Wala akong, sa Amerika. Maraming magaganda doon. Pero, kaya yung, again, Trump invited me. Kasi itong 2 senador, sabi nila na, if Duterte will come here, I will participate in the protest. Tangina. You are too presumptuous. Whoever told you that I will be going there? Nagpunta talaga ako noon kasi nanganak yung anak ko sa Veronica. Yun lang naman ang buhay ko, sa anak lang. Mga nanay, isali na lang natin, kaya nandiyan naman sumbong yan. What is important to me is my children. Kaya 2 ang asawa ko. Sabi nila, mayabang daw ako, parang chauvinist pig. Totoo naman. Maghanap ka ng presidente dito na pag-inaugurate, yung isang asawa na doon, isang asawa dito. Bakit hindi mo ipagyabang yan? Sa kanila, isa lang kasi takot. Takot ako kay Inday. Hindi mo yayain ang nanay, yayarin ka dyan. Bantay ka dyan kay Inday. Ay, maldita yan. Bantay kayo kay Inday. You might not really maldita yan. Mahirap pa yan. Kaya di mo mano yan. Kalaban ng komunista. Alam mo bakit? Coronel yan sa armed forces. Reserve. Isang batalyon yung tao na dito na. So that's my life actually. I was regaling you with my style, but it's because of also of the circumstances. I mean no rudeness to anybody here, and to the Arabs who are here. Wala man akong I'm just trying to. It's a cry, a pleading for help actually. Huwag naman ganun. Please do not do it. After all, my countrymen are all also human beings like you. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President. And now may we request the President for a photo opportunity with the Manila Times board members and VIP guests in 6 batches. Please come on stage as called. Batch 1, the Manila Times VIP guests seated on table 3. Please enter on the side of the stage.